see that statue right there behind me? That's old Queen Victoria. And you look at that bad boy right there. That's Kensington Palace. I am in the middle of Hyde Park, London, England. Hopefully you've enjoyed tiptoeing around the historic streets here in London this week. It's epic. It's right in front of this statue right here. Been gallivanting through this park every day. I absolutely love it. And I love the history that London has to offer. Kensington Palace, London, England, Retail Nomad. Chat. See you later.
The Retail Nomad, traveling the globe, sharing what the retail environment is like, hidden corners of the world.
In this week's video, stepping inside a Kensington Palace, I wanted to jet over to the gift shop just to showcase what I'm going to label as royalty retail. Then what we're going to do in this video is we're going to dance down Main Street retail, hitting up Oxford and Regent Streets, and then closing out with some examples of British supermarket brands. One element that I was very impressed with upon entry in the gift shop is the high-end millwork, the decor back panel there, the flooring. It just exudes, high-class luxury. The merchandise tables, very neatly organized and just high finishes and so forth. And then you see in the background there, Queen Victoria, and just showcasing the British heritage. And this here display case reminded me of the Titanic. I will say I was thoroughly impressed with the merchandise selection that's available. That you can see, everything from decanters to bags and collectible items, just a wide array from clothing to souvenirs. And then here, this little section here is a miniature book section. You got Princess Di up top, and then a collection of some of the European labels that we're all familiar with. I don't know if you can see these here, but Coco, Chanel, Prada, Dior, Versace, Gucci, an excellent array. And take note on the dark color tone selection that to me it just exudes high-end quality, the upper echelon. And I like these little vignettes here. And then I peeked out of the window. Here I am inside Kensington Palace looking out at an outdoor cafe as I dance between this little thoroughfare. This is a nicely laid out space, very open. And look at the foot traffic. This place is off the charts, I tell you. Locals and tourists alike. And here, it's not every day you see scaffolding rolling across the street, down a sidewalk. Love the old MG sports car zipping past. Across the way is a Lacoste store. We're going to dance inside here in just a bit. But I just figured I would tiptoe you down, heading through the Knightsbridge area here, Brompton Road. It's only a few minute walk from Hyde Park. A beautiful sunny day here. And I just wanted to showcase and show you another area of London with high-end fashion retail labels and brands, that we're all accustomed to. You see this bump out coming here with a blockade. Tommy Hilfiger, obviously they're doing a remodel behind this barricade here. And again, these well-known labels. You got Coach, you got All Saints, Brompton Road. And here I am jetting inside of this beautiful looking Lacoste store. Multi-level, very well illuminated. You have natural light coming in from these huge, these glass windows on the front perimeter, and then nice candlelight, LED light system internal. Very well lit, nice activations, neatly merchandised. I've enjoyed tiptoeing inside of these store locations on multiple continents. I always like to jump in, put my head inside, take a peek at these beautiful looking structures. We look forward to you taking a peek at your 2026 construction schedule. And after leaving Kensington Palace, I jumped over to Main Street, which is, you see here, NBA store, and I zigzagged up and down Oxford Street and Regent Street. The NBA store here, just literally, you see jerseys all over town by both children and grown adults. Multi-billion-dollar sports apparel industry. And then you see the well-known Skechers built these stores all the way back into the 1990s out in SoCal. you see good old Pandora coming soon. Huge barricade up here while they're constructing the store back behind. It's good to see. New coming in summer of 2025. And then good old Nike right on prime real estate here on the main corner intersection. I loved how these four buildings all are concave and showcasing the Oxford Circus intersection here. So as I'm tiptoeing down Oxford Street, you see here it says John Lewis and Partners, the iconic British brand. This beautiful 7-floor world famous flagship store location. The brand originally opening their very first store in 1864. That's nearly over 160 some years. This like I said, iconic brand recently rejoined the International Association of Department Stores, which is fantastic. You look across the street there, you see Jack and Jones, another well-known British label, famous for all the Europeans on this side of the pond. Down here you got Moss and Rituals. There you see good old Steve Madden shoes as I'm tiptoeing down the Oxford Street here. And many of these major labels, some you may be familiar with, some may be only European based, and you may not be familiar with if you're from the U.S. And I want to give a shout out to these double-decker buses and the London taxis. I love these rides. You got good old Pop Mart getting a lot of media exposure here recently and notoriety in the States and here in London. And again, Clark Shoes, we've been affiliated with them for many moons and building their stores out. And here you see one of London's landmarks, Hamleys Toy Store. This thing originated back in the late 1700s as a toy store for Noah's Ark. I mean, just think of the history this place exudes. Still putting on the entertaining adventures, attracting the kids, adults alike inside of Hamleys, this multi-story mecca. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of construction out front here, and then another one of the red double-decker buses passing by as well. And here you see a label by the name of Space NK. This here is one of Europe's leading beauty retailers, founded in 1993, their first store location in England. If you've heard in the news, last month, the U.S. retailer Ulta acquired this brand, Space NK. Figured I would jump in and give you a bird's eye view of what this, one of the largest British cosmetic retailers, is laid out and looks like from the inside. Ulta, operating 1,450 plus stores across all 50 states, acquired this beauty here. And here you see a brand by the name of British Collections. It's everything from luggage. They have an ATM machine inside, souvenirs, postcards, and all kinds of tchotchkes to take away back to your friends, family, or loved ones. In between here, you got KFC, you got upcoming, you got Subway. And what I'm doing is I'm walking down the neighborhood where I stayed, labeled Paddington, and you'll see that I'm only going to walk less than 2 minutes, and there's going to be another British Collections. Blows me away with this retail mentality, very similar to what you see out in Hawaii with the brand by the name of ABC convenience stores. Yes, here it is, British Collections. Same product mix, same goods, same tchotchkes, same souvenirs. British Collections. See them everywhere. And then closing out this week's video, I'm going to shift gears on you as I jumped over to the grocery category and I danced inside of what's called Waitrose. This one here I thought was unique. I liked the look and feel. Just take note of the flooring. It felt very different for grocery. I want to say almost homey, more high-end for some reason. It didn't feel as... I jumped over. I was intrigued with some of the sizing of the colas here in this section. But I really like the look, feel, design of Waitrose. And then take note that there's not a lot of lines of individuals. more self-checkout usage, which I jumped over and just looked at the feasibility and usage of this myself as I'm checking out. And you'll see me in the reflection with my Clark Kent Ray-Ban glasses. Like the look, feel, Waitrose, also part of John Lewis and Partners. And here I wanted to jump inside of what's called M&S Food. That's right, this is their grocery supermarket division. This is a smaller layout right around the corner from where I stayed. And I just kind of want to give you a sample of, quick hits, good value, your basic necessities. But I like the look, feel, design. It was easy, convenient, a quick hit, if you will, right? Short, narrow aisle, locations not long in length. You don't feel like you're in a major supermarket, but it's got all the departmental categories that we're accustomed to. So M&S Food. And here you see a label by the name of Tesco Express. And as I strolled inside of this beauty, it's got more of the standard commercial grocery feel. And just look at the narrow aisles, similar floor, ceramic tile type of. And you see Kellogg's labeled here. Their reps doing a pretty good job keeping them some good shelf space, eye level. But I just wanted to showcase. Again, you'll see some American labels positioned and scattered left and right. One thing I was intrigued with was the refrigeration system. There you have a lot of, for myself, cooler and refrigerated units here in this store. But Tesco Express. And here in my final clip, you see Sainsbury Local. And it's got your standard layout immediately to the right. You typically got your fruits or veggies. And you don't have the long runs in this one here. But it's got more of the grocery feel to it and the layout. Very similar to the last one we just saw, Tesco Express. And from my perspective, all the standard categories down throughout. You got some Goodfellas pizza. And you're going to see some brands, international U.S. labels that you're going to be familiar with. You got Nivea, you got Gillette, you've got Dove, and so forth. But I just like to call out some of these elements just so you could see the connectivity worldwide. Big wine and liquor section seems to be pretty popular. You got Cadbury eggs. And then once again, what do you see here? Kellogg's. Tell me this rep isn't doing their job. Sainsbury Local, also self-checkout. And here I am signing out. You see right there, it says goodbye. Leaving Heathrow International Airport here today. It's been a stellar trip here in London. Said hello to Mart, to Romana, to Simone, and many others. It's been cool. Dancing around, checking out, making videos in Liberty, London, in Harrods, in the O2 Arena, and so forth. Retail Nomad is heading out of town, leaving, flying across the Atlantic here today. Thanks much for tagging along here in England and checking out what London has to offer. So cool, great time, great weather. Retail Nomad is off to the next destination. Thanks much. Follow along.
Stay tuned to the Retail Nomad, as each week we'll be profiling different types of shopping experiences around the world. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.